Welcome into the first episode of the Co-op 64 podcast. This is the casual conversational podcast from Co-op 64. We're going to be coming at you with some fun topics today, but let's introduce the panel. Nick, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. This is a long time coming. This is a show that we discussed way back in 2023 November, being like, eventually we're going to do this, right? Like, that's just going to happen. I'm so excited. The topics are going to be silly and wacky. I know what we're discussing today. I'm really excited about it, but it's just good to be here. Brady, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Like you said, I'm ready to goof. We've talked about this podcast for a long time. It was a lot of what ifs, and now we're a year plus in, and these what ifs are becoming reality. And I'm excited just to yap it up with you boys.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to just see this so we can finally actually discuss it, not hide it from everybody. But yeah, this is going to be an exclusive show on Patreon. Obviously, this is heavily influenced by the conversational podcast that Nick and I grew up listening to, like the Game Over Greggy show, which came to the table with 4 people, each bringing a topic of discussion for your amusement, as Greg would say, every single week. And we're going to do the same kind of thing. It just helps us structure the podcast in a way that we feel kind of is very conducive to having conversations flow and have a better discussion. So we all came with topics. Usually we're not going to share them, but we did share them beforehand for this one. And usually there will be a 4th topic provided by the Co-op 64 community members who support us on Patreon at that highest tier. So if you want a chance to be a part of the show, you're going to have to support at that level. But yeah, the show is going to be available for all $10 patrons, and it's going to be once a month, and it's going to be super fun. So happy to have you. It's going to be a blast.
This is going up on YouTube, though. That's the other
this first one. Yeah,
that we wanted people to see what we're sort of cooking up, and I think that this is going to be wild. We got the chocolate milk already poured. Connor loves it. Brady actually loves it. We're having a great time. One of the things that we saw in the survey that you guys sent in was you guys want more Brady content. This is an easy way to put Brady on more content. You're stoked about this, right?
They're going to immediately regret their decision. So they're going to be like, oh, this guy is not as smart as we thought. And then we're going to start yapping. And then before we get into it, I'm excited to see when we get to do episodes with our fan suggestions, because I'm sure that's going to get weird and
within
a little
reason. We have the ability to veto it. If it's crazy, and we just or don't have anything to talk about when it comes to the topic, we will veto certain
or we'll
things.
reach
Or
out
ask
to
you to give us a
something
option.
different. And that's also going to be a random pull of the bag or a wheel spin or something. Like, we'll find a way to go and just make it completely random on the podcast, so we won't even know to prep for an exact topic until we see it from all y'all. But today it's just 3 topics.
Also worth noting that this is shooting on November 30th, and it will post in January, so it's a bit of a time capsule. So if something happens between now and then that we're not referencing, that's why.
Vita 2.
Vita 2. Oh, it means life twice, dude.
You can't live
life,
twice.
2 furious.
2 Vita.
Like Vita 2, and then the Bengals winning every game from here on out and making the playoffs.
Yep,
dude,
that's going to happen.
Oh, my God. At this point, we still won't know if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl yet. But man, oh, man, I really hope that doesn't happen.
Best worst team I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
They are they're balling and just keep losing.
They have the MVP in the NFL.
Yeah,
and they're 5-7.
MVP
it's disgusting.
is Saquon Barkley.
It should be.
Yeah,
it won't be, because that's just not how the NFL works. It's a QB award for the best QB on the best team.
Yeah, it's lame. If Patrick Mahomes wins it, I'm flipping.
He was a top 5 person, and he was not top 5 in any stats.
They look terrible right now. They just lost, they almost lost to the Raiders, and it was ugly. That was just an ugly game. That is a terrible football team.
Did you see the ending of that?
Yeah.
They were driving up the field at the end, and I'm like, well, there's no way they win this, because that's not how this works.
Yeah.
I like the Chiefs right now.
I texted Brady, I was like, fucking hate the Chiefs.
This is how this felt for everybody watching the Patriots for the last 20 years. So we can't complain about the Chiefs. Right. We really can't as Patriots fans. Yeah. Sorry, Brady.
And we had that one year. We had that 1 year.
All right. We didn't choose who's going first. How do we want to do
this? Choose someone. Just go.
I'll go first.
There we go. I love it. Connor, what's your topic?
My topic is road trips. I wanted to hear about your own personal stories on your experience with road trips. What are your favorite snacks? What are you grabbing at the gas station? What's the longest road trip you've ever been on? What has gone wrong for you during these road trips? I want to kick it off with one of the legendary stories of me Brady, and our friend Max driving up to Massachusetts for the first time together ever.
Well, you drove.
Yes.
Max and I
Wait,
did
you
not
drove
have
all
our
13?
I drove all 14.
Oh,
and Brady was... I was
14 hours, 14 hours, by the way, not 14 people.
Yes, I was 18. Brady was 16, didn't have his license yet, and Max was 16 as well.
probably
And
like
also
16.
didn't have his
Yeah.
license.
I
So-
slept in the back the entire time.
Yeah, so Brady slept the entire time, but this is capped off because this is the way to do a long road trip. You have to start early.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
start early and then you get there at a reasonable hour during the day. So maybe you can take like a little nap if you want to. You have a whole afternoon when you get there to kind of settle back in. Getting in super late at night or driving at night is terrible. Cannot stand it. So we left at 2 a.m.
Really? I didn't even remember
2 or
it being
3 in the
that
morning.
early. Yeah.
And if you know anything about me, I do not have a strong stomach.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to go with this. I was going to say there was an interesting beginning to that road trip, and I was like, I don't know if he's going to share this.
I also wanted to just say, I don't remember this story. I probably
Okay.
heard it, so
So-
I'm excited.
so-
Bring me on this trip, Connor.
So I'm nervous because I didn't feel like I slept the night before just because we were waking up at 2. There's a lot of pressure to fall asleep. I was trying to go to sleep at like 7. I'm sleeping in Brady's bed because we're leaving from his place. And like I don't know if I slept. It just was one of those things that it was all of a sudden 2 a.m. and it's like, okay, let's get up and let's go do this. And I felt good when it came to like energized and ready to go, but there's a lot of pressure of having 2 people who can't drive in the car with you and having that whole 14-hour trip ahead of you. So we get going and Brady falls asleep in the back. Max stays up the entire road trip with me. An
Shout out.
absolute trooper, talking, yapping. We're listening to the Game Over Greggy show.
Nice.
Maybe at that point. Yeah, it must have been the Game Over Greggy show. Maybe it's the Kind of Funny podcast at that point. And then and we're listening to Blurry Face because it had just come out.
Oh man, what
Oh
a
my
time!
God.
Yeah,
I'm just a bad friend, by the way. When I tell you I was awake for maybe an hour and a half of that,
Yeah.
like I teleported to Massachusetts.
But we are an hour in and we're between rest stops. And I'm like, it's go time. It's bad. I have to shit right now. And I was like, maybe I can make it to like a gas station. And it became very apparent that it's like, no, the baby is coming. The baby. We need to situate this. Like, we need to figure out how we're gonna handle this. So it's 2 a.m. So there's not a lot of cars on the road. I pull over to the side of the road with some woods. I go to the bathroom on the side of the road.
We wiping?
And wipe with the
we
receipt.
crusting, dude.
A receipt?
Yeah, I remember it being a receipt. I think I was like, Max, do you have any receipt or paper in the car? And he was like, there's a receipt. And I was like, that'll work.
No napkins?
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't have any at that point. But yeah, I go take a shit on the side of the road.
Like
This
a
has
fucking animal.
This has
Just-
never happened since then. Like I've gone to the like I was 18 years old. It just had to happen at that point. Like I've had close calls since then, like where it felt like I was gonna, and I made it to my destination. I was okay. But like this was one of those situations where it's like we have 13 hours left of this car trip. I cannot start it by basically shitting myself.
You just had an itchy butt the
In
rest
the
of the way.
car. It's like no. So I go shit. And then we ended up at a gas station, like in a little bit, and I clean up and everything, and we get going. But then this trip doesn't stop there. We get like 3 or 4 or 5 hours in. We're getting closer to New York. We might have been in New York at this point, or like Pennsylvania. You're in Pennsylvania for like an hour of this trip, like just the clipping, like the side of it, because we go off through Buffalo when we're going to Massachusetts, and it starts pouring rain, and that shit is terrifying. It's like you can't see shit in front of you, and Max and I are just like. Just like holding on for dear life. Silence. No, wait, we were listening, having a good time to the music and the podcast and laughing and everything. And then this starts happening and it's just dead silent. Push forward through the storm. It was terrifying. And we got through it. We were okay. And
Brady's in the back.
I'm
getting
just-
a
I'm just-
great
Brady's
sleep.
sleep.
I'm honk shoeing, dude. I'm
Brady's
hitting
the
the
entire
me,
time.
me's, dude. I'm out. It's cold. I don't remember this.
Yeah, so it was terrifying. We got to our destination. I drove the entire trip. And I've done this trip alone or with people maybe 14 to 20 times at this point. I've lost count. So 14 hours. I've done it alone like 3 or 4
That's
times.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I moved back from to go to college in Connecticut, I went back to Massachusetts to stay with my family for 2 weeks because Laura was going off to college herself, and we broke up. Because that's what you're supposed to do when you go off to college. I guess you can't keep dating your high school sweetheart if you're going to different colleges. So we're like, this is the end. We were going to break up all on good terms and everything. And I'm going to go off to college and you'll go off to college. And I remember driving up, I had my cat Ellie with me, which I was not allowed to have. And I was extremely allergic to this cat.
That's a long 14 hours.
And you're in a box. You're in a fucking hot box of allergies with a cat, and my eyes are red. I have the window rolled down to just kind of like air it out and everything. And I could have sworn that Ellie was like giving off more like pheromones, like more allergy pheromones because she was stressed out.
Oh yeah.
And it was like I think that there must be some science behind that, but like. I was pulling over at like multiple rest stops. Like I said, it takes 14 hours usually on the long end. It took me 16 hours because I kept pulling over and being like, I need to breathe. But then also along with this, like I'm halfway up and I call Laura just to like kind of like have a quick conversation, and like it was sad obviously. And then I remember hanging up and bawling like it was bad. Like I was like like it was like and obviously the rest is history because we got back together like a few weeks after that and did the long distance thing, and now we're married. So but yeah, that's like a notable Massachusetts trip. But other than that, like we've done like going to Alabama like a few times with the three of us.
I was about to say
just us two.
I have one solo one that I want to tell, but it's basically all my solo road trip stories from all of college because I had the 1997 Toyota Camry that our late grandfather left me.
You got to talk about the one where you came and visited
that's
us.
what
That's where I thought you were gonna start.
And so I
wasn't in that road trip.
That's
it was
true.
just Nick.
It was just Nick.
So
but
these guys they bomb down to the Floribama shore and everything. It's Connor, Brady, both their significant others, and I get down to Auburn, and I'm just like, all right. You guys are so close, I might as well. But this is also after a summer where I've not started my car that has just been down there. And it is a 1997. At this point, it's 25 years old. It is so
and it's on its last leg.
Old. And it is trying its best. Yeah. And so we get down there and I just go, I'm like, all right, this is cool. This is fun. I'm going to start up the car. Doesn't start. Just completely dead. I don't know if a car could be more dead than this car was when I tried to initially start it. All of a sudden, get some jumper cables. I have my friend Elise go and give me a jump. I'm like, thank you so much. Driving around, try to charge the battery, park it, dead. Just does not work. And then this girl, God bless her heart, just goes in and is like, I have a portable charger. Like, I can help you get down there. And this person was all for adventure. I'm all for adventure. She's like, well, we're going to get you there. So all of a sudden we go and I jump started the morning of to go and drive down. It's like a 4-hour drive, 3-hour drive. It's not too far to go and visit you guys. And it's the boys. I haven't seen you guys in a while. It was probably a Nevin's Island day from that year and everything. So probably 6 or 7 months at that point. I want to hang out. I want to have a good time. Surely enough, I could not turn my car off. I had to get gas with the car still on, which you're not supposed to do. I just had to send it.
No, I remember having conversations with you. I was like, you better not turn that car off.
Yeah.
Like,
Because then it's like our problem.
Yeah. I was like, if you get stuck halfway and we have to come get you and figure this out, this is going to suck. So just leave it on. And then you get there, and didn't your tire like just lose all its air?
Oh, my tires, there was a tire that like perpetually did not have air in it. Like it just no matter what, I would fill it up. There was one time I went to go and drop my buddy George off at the airport, so we got like an hour and a half drive, and I see that the tire is a little bit just gone. It does not have enough air in it, and so we go after a night of drinking. All night. We drink till 3 a.m. George might drink till 5. All of a sudden it's 7 a.m. We're at the tire place being like, this is clearly like there's a hole in this tire. Like there's no way that like we try to fill it up. It is now not filled up. There is a hole in this tire. They come back to us like 30 minutes later at the salad shop. There's not a hole in the tire. I'm just like, what are you talking about? This is just not working. So we get down there and great trip, a lot of fun, a lot of memories, a lot of laughs.
Don't touch the car the entire time.
Don't touch the car
Don't
the
look
entire
at
time. We go, we get it going again. It didn't take a jump on the way up, which was nice, but we still had the battery. On the way up, I got pulled over 2 times, no tickets. 2 times for speeding, no tickets.
2 times?
2 times. Do you not remember the second time?
I thought it was 1.
No, I went and it was on the same road. Different cop,
like,
same road.
Fancy seeing you again.
Did you tell the second cop you got pulled over
No,
the first
of
time?
course not.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's literally in the system. It's like, warning, 20 minutes ago. It's like,
Talk about not learning your lesson.
But the road trip that I do want to discuss, obviously, is with Josh Steelman, one of my good friends from college. There was this nice guy. His name was by Brady Goodall, who just during my entire college career wanted me to come up and party up with everyone in Ohio, have a great time. And whether it was needing funding for gas money or whatever, or White Claws, he was going to make it happen. We were going to get there. So the first time, Brady's just like, hey, man, drive on up. And we're going to do this like fun little weekend. We planned it around like spring break. I believe, did you know the first one that I came up? Because I went and I hung out with my youth leaders the night before and everything.
The first time you came out to visit us. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I still live?
Yeah, you're still
place?
with him beneath you. And then the second time, though, and this is the one that I really remember, the second time, Brady's in his new place. Connor is going and he's having just a great time, living his life. They're all over playing cards at Brady's. And we go and we drive 9 hours to surprise Connor and a bunch of friends. Connor had no idea. It's a great video, great moment. The drive up with me and Josh was delightful. We go through Georgia all the way up. We bomb up there. Great time. We then party that Saturday night all night long. What's up?
I need to talk about you coming in and surprising. So Brady goes downstairs to let Nick in. It's like, I got to go grab something from my car. And I was like, he's taking a while. And then he comes back in, and I'm sitting with my back to the door, and Cameron, who's on the couch, is like, what's up, guys? And then two people behind me start talking, and I was like, am I gonna have to fucking socialize with new people?
Even worse.
I was like, I don't want to fucking like meet new people right now. Like, I'm having like just a chill like afternoon.
You guys playing euchre?
Yeah, we're just hanging out, and then I turn around and I go, what the fuck?
And it's me and Josh, and Connor has met Josh on the previous trip. Loves Josh, has met him a few times. This guy is awesome. Josh one day on a visit will be on some piece of content eventually years down the line.
He's real, I swear.
Yeah. But so we then party. And there's like certain times you're partying and having a good time, and you get a little drunk, and you're just having general fun. We started drinking at like 6 p.m. that day, and me and Josh stayed up until the sunrise. Like we did not stop drinking and having a great time. We then reacted to Kingdom Hearts 3 getting announced. So I stayed up. 4 getting announced. 2021 this was. I'm so like tired at this point. And then that's Sunday morning. We just have to drive. So Josh has 2.5 hours of sleep in him. I have no sleep in me. And he's just like, all right, run it. And I'm just like, dude, I need to sleep and I need to shit my pants because we drank and all the greasy food and everything. And we're bombing down. I felt so bad because this man, he drove a little bit of a nicer car. He was like, you're not driving this car. I'm going to be the only one that drives it. I made that dude stop for gas no less than 6 times, being like, I just need to evacuate my bowels. Okay. And every single time it was just not great. And when we get down there and he was just like, Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that road trip again. That was fucking awful. And I'm like, we're going to do it again next year. And we did it again next year. But like the party, I'm done with it. In my later age, I'm done with the party and then having to travel. You party on night 1, you rest night 2, and then you go home on day 3. Yeah. That's how it's got to be. And then the other road trip that came to mind was going down to the cabin with a complete stranger.
With Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. I forgot you drove down with Ian. But I guess if you're getting in a car with a stranger, he's a good guy to get in with.
It's like an interactive podcast. You're both like interactive podcasts. Yeah. Like you're very personable, very social. Like our friend Ian, who we met through playing Valorant because he is dating somebody who Laura works with or whatever. Yeah. So like it was, it was
pull the red strings out.
Haven't seen Ian in a very long time. But I love that guy. But Nick just hops in his car with him because he was driving alone.
So he was driving alone, and Brady's got like, I was gonna be in Brady's car, and there's like 4 of us, and I'm doing the math in my head. I'm just like, this guy shouldn't drive alone. This is a great way to start out the weekend. Let's just send it. I know more about that man than I do my own father. Okay, because we're just yapping it up. There's nothing is off limits. So I'm like, all right, let's go to childhood trauma now. Like we just went through it. It was great. Brady, do you have any specific stories that you go back to when you're talking road trips?
I mean, you guys just unlocked so many memories in my head. I'm on road trips with all of us, and this is a throwback before all the ones we just mentioned, when we went to Auburn to visit your sister.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my
We were.
God.
I got a picture of you. It was next to a store. It was called The Corner, and we
Yeah,
were like,
Timur's Corner, baby.
You're,
Timur's Corner,
the
yeah.
corner. This is Connor's corner.
Connor's Corner.
And it's just a picture of you holding a drink, and you
It's
look
lemonade.
like a. It's lemonade. Do
Yeah.
you remember that?
Well, that's
That's
they're
what
known
they
for.
sell. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. And you're just smiling, and you look like a baby, and
Yeah.
that was crazy.
You look like a baby too. We went and
Oh,
partied
yeah.
this weekend, and Brady was 15 years old.
That was like why that was an eye opener.
Yeah,
dude.
Paige is just like dragging us to like frat parties, and we're just like, hey guys.
Dude, imagine being in a frat party and you look over and you see 15-year-old Brady. You're like,
What the fuck?
I'm about to get arrested right now. Like, this is bad. He should not be here right now. We saw some not great stuff that weekend, and I was like, man, college life is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's built different.
The main thing this is my public apology to Nick. Remember what I did to you that trip?
No, I have no idea.
Well,
I
go
have
ahead.
no idea.
Oh, it's a college town. So we're with the parents. We're with the whole fam. Paige
Yeah.
is there. We're walking around, and it's the Saturday or Sunday after a college party night.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there's a pile of vomit just sitting on the ground as we're walking through this alley. And I mean, we're kids. We're kind of just looking at it. We're like, ew, vomit. And then me being the shitty, pretty much older brother to Nick, because we just relentlessly made you as cool as you are today.
I
when we
know.
were younger. You're welcome.
We molded you.
We molded you.
trial by fire.
Exactly. And anyway, I bend over. I'm like, is that vomit? I look down, and Nick goes, yeah, I think it is. And we inch a little closer, and then I just shove Nick.
I remember this.
I don't remember this at all.
He tries to jump over it, and
Did he
he's
fall
not.
in it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not graceful. Just full foot into the.
Just a foot. Just
Oh,
a,
it's a
just
foot. Okay.
Yeah.
and it was one of those things that he didn't like slip or anything, but like just
That's
full
nasty.
foot.
But we
in
have
vomit.
to drive back up, dude, and
Oh,
I
like
got
that.
a foot full of vomit.
and it was one of those things where I like immediately was like, that was an asshole thing to do. Like
Yeah.
I should. It was funny in the moment, but
It's a
and
very
then-
15-year-old thing to do for
Yeah.
humor. Yeah.
Yeah, and then old Papa Evans was not too pleased with me. He did do the right thing, and he made me clean the shoe off, which I was like, just a piece of mulch in the back of the like with the trunk open, just sitting outside of the van, just
Scraping the lines
flicking
out.
corn out of the
Ew.
bottom of
Oh,
his
dude.
shoe.
Speaking of Papa Evans, dude, that guy, Arkansas to Massachusetts,
Crazy talk.
That's
24 hours, did it no problem. He was right. Yeah.
Yes.
no,
And we would just sleep in the back, and he would just go.
Go.
Like he did not give a fuck. And there was one time where we went to, we were driving back.
Real quick, once again, Arkansas to Massachusetts.
24
in
hours.
24 hours, one shot.
Yeah,
Insane.
no stopping.
Sorry.
I mean, stopping for gas. And
Yeah.
Mom would take over for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
and otherwise,
maybe.
yeah.
There's certain trips he did
just locked
all
in.
24. He like all the lights comes on, but and then he
I
just,
couldn't stay up for 24
Yeah.
hours at this point, like
That's
on my own.
insane.
He would do it, and like
He
I
was
would,
like 40.
yeah.
Like he's an older man. And he's
What was
just
the
getting
game
after
we
it.
used to play when we would call it the yellow cars? Is it Birdie?
Birdie.
Yeah,
Birdie.
Yeah.
Just him. I can just see him now, like 4 a.m. Everybody else is asleep in the car. And he's
Birdie.
Just, Birdie. You guys wake up. He's like, I'm at 42.
Yeah. I was gonna say 552 to 3. You fucking
So
nerds.
when Josh and I would do road trips, we're playing slug bugs, and dude, I cannot beat this man. Like I've gone on probably it's punch buggies, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. You see a Volkswagen bug, you hit your buddy, and so we're just going up. And every now and then, I'm on my phone. I'm like trying to show my ass for a little bit, and this man just bang. And no matter what, there was one time I was once again. I need to shit. I need to sleep. I am done with my entire life. We partied like there's 3 times that I partied that hard and that late, and that was one of them. This man, I was like trying to close my eyes. I'm just trying to like listen to a podcast. Bang, bang.
Wait, is this Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
Dude, Josh is like sneaky strong too.
Oh, yeah.
like
Smaller
you
guy,
would-
but he's got-
You wouldn't think
yeah.
of it, but I remember at one of the Nevins Island days, we had Josh does jujitsu on
Oh,
the
yeah.
wheel, and I remember like I spun it, and they was like, "All right, let me show you this move," and then he just starts choking me out, and I was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, he do that to me as well.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Oh,
insane.
Yeah, of
dude.
course we're the two to spin it. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
two like outsiders,
Well,
and Josh is just choking us
I
out.
see
on
stars.
screen.
I'm like, well, I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Dude, Josh was a weapon on those streams, man. He was
Yeah.
great. Like there was a lot of Josh-oriented wheel spins back in the day, but he was the dude to go on a road trip with. I loved those trips. But what were you gonna say about Dad with going to Arkansas? You had a specific one there.
Oh no, it wasn't Arkansas. It was going back from Massachusetts one year for from Christmas, and we were going to stop at Niagara Falls and spend a day at Niagara Falls. We pull in late. It's like
God.
11 or 12, and we check into the hotel, and it is like clearly a smoking room. Like the walls are very thin, just not a good hotel. And we're trying to sleep, and you can hear the people next to us like talking and yelling and
Screaming.
being loud. Like my dad's like, fuck it, we are driving back right now.
Yeah.
And
Hell
we get in
yeah.
the car and we drive back and get back at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and we got a whole extra day back. I was sitting in the car being like, yes! I was like, we get to go home and play video games all day instead of spending at Niagara Falls.
I got another one with Pop 64. The night before, it's a Thursday. Yeah, it was a Thursday night, and it's March Madness kicks off. So March Madness Thursday, I had no classes on Friday. You go out, you party. Like it's an all-in thing on college, especially Auburn was like the number 3 seed that year. So where there's a lot of, they were the number 2 seed, a lot of anticipation, really excited. I'm going to the game in South Carolina on that Friday. I'm also watching Coach K, the Duke's coach, his final run. Like he was playing at that place. I'm like, oh, cool. We're going to have a full day watching basketball. So I have to go pick my father up at the Atlanta airport and then go to a couple of games. Then I had to take a test. Then we watch Auburn play. I get to see Matt do some marching band stuff. We're having a great day. It is now 11 midnight. Finally, we get back to the place. We get to the hotel room, and immediately we're just like, this is not a great hotel room. We are like, I get under the covers, and I'm like, I don't know if I just got bit by something, but I feel like I just got bit by something. And he has a moment where I look at him, he looks at me, and he's like, how gassed are you right now? And I woke up at 4 a.m. that morning to go and pick him up and do this whole day because we had to get to Atlanta and then drive up to South Carolina. And I'm like, I'm pretty gassed. And he's like, all right, fuck it. We're driving back to Auburn. Like we're going, like, I'm like, this is like a 4-hour trip. And he's like, I'm with you though. Like, I don't want to stay here. So we're sending it. And this man is also exhausted. He was up at 4 a.m. I'm up at 4 a.m. He takes the first 2 hours. I take the next 2 hours. The funniest thing is Shane rolls out in his undies. It's either Shane or Jake. One of them rolls out in just their underwear. They see my father. And once again, it's a Saturday morning now. People were over the night before, playing Rock Band, having a great time. And just underwear. And all of a sudden, my dad's there. And he just goes, yo, what's up, Mr. Evans? And then my dad is just like, where am I? Because he's on the couch.
It's a fever dream.
Yeah, he did not remember a single thing of it. It was awesome. Great time. But like that dude, if you needed somebody to call in, the GOAT, when it came to the late night road trip, I remember pleading with him because I was like, I need a couple hours. Like I cannot function without a couple hours. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I also kind of need it right now. I'm like, go as much as you can go. He's like, I'll give you 2 hours. And so he did his job. And then we got home. It was a great time. I'm realizing that at this point in my life, there's 2 things that have got me through these car trips. 1, obviously kind of funny podcasts, interviews, all that good stuff. 2, I don't know if you remember this. You made a car trip playlist back when you were like 16 years old.
I have no idea what you're talking
17 years old. And I'm like really young. This might have been you driving up to Massachusetts with Brady and Max level old. And I have this playlist on my phone.
I don't believe
to this day. Go take it over real quick. But
This has got to be an interesting playlist if
Yeah.
it's coming from
it's going to be like
2014.
it's going to be 21 Pilots and Two Door Cinema Club and
It is.
Mind Chemical
We got
Romance.
8
I see some
hours.
Phoenix on there.
we got Phoenix on here, Arctic Monkeys, Of Montreal, Vampire Weekend, some Weezer.
This looks
Everything
exactly
I listen to right now.
Yeah, it's Connor Music's taste has changed.
I
to
literally
0.
listened to that of Montreal like a few weeks ago. I listened to Yabadum like this week.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No, but like it's a go-to for me because it's all just like banger hits from the mid 2010s and everything. It's a great time.
Last bit of this topic, let's talk about snacks. Let's talk about
Okay.
food on the road. I'm not a huge food guy when I'm driving, but like having to pull over and methodically figure out when you're gonna stop and get your meal on a longer trip is always like an interesting factor. And there's always this one McDonald's that we stop at on the ride up to Massachusetts that has this bridge over the highway that's just fucking legendary. It's like a checkpoint or whatever. They're like, okay, we've hit the McDonald's. We're gonna get some McDonald's brekkie. It's gonna be really good, and then we're gonna go out. I remember specifically when Laura and I moved from Ohio to Massachusetts after college. We had Sophie with us. I let her out in that parking lot, and she would just
Really?
like, "Meep, meep, meep,
Sophie's a
meep,
cat.
meep."
Sophie is a cat.
She she was stoked. She was like on my shoulder and everything. She's like, me.
Oh,
It
dude,
was
she
so
loves the
cute.
McDonald's as much as we
Yeah,
do.
she still had 4 legs at that point too.
Aw.
For me, when I think of the snacks, I sometimes go big. You know I'm getting a soda. You know it's most likely
Yeah.
a Dr. Pepper with potentially some vanilla or some cherry. Well, like I'm
You're
not
doing one of those.
No, I'm not
oh,
doing.
I
No, I'm not
hate
doing the
those
fountain.
machines.
I'm saying that I'm grabbing a bottle, a 20-ouncer of Dr. Pepper with some flavoring in it, and then it comes to, can I put my body through a Flamin' Hot? Because the Flamin' Hot fries, $1, $2. Come on,
What?
load me up. It's basically free. Like, they're asking for me to pick them up, but then I like on road trips with Josh. It's been me in the ass a couple times where you go 3 hours later and then you got
Same-
Flamin' Hot shits.
Same with coffee as well. It's like it's a dangerous game to play,
Yeah.
especially early in the morning. You get a coffee, you're like you need it for the caffeine, but then like you end up needing to pull
Blowing up
over
a
it.
bathroom.
Okay. Talking about blowing up bathrooms a lot.
Yeah, we're talking, this is a very poop heavy episode.
Yeah.
And this is only
come to
episode
expect
1.
this from the call now. But Brady, what's your go-to snack?
If I'm driving, so I played baseball growing up, and I like to keep myself kind of stimulated if I'm driving, just so I don't zone out too much. So if I'm actively driving, I'll hit up the sunflower seeds because that's kind of something you don't really need your hands for. You can just throw them in your mouth, spit them into a bottle. My wife hates it because she thinks it's disgusting.
I don't have the skill.
Yeah.
To crack
let-
sunflower seeds in my mouth.
Let's break this down. I want you to clearly say this into this microphone. You take a handful. Let's just say like 6 or 7 seeds. Toss them back.
I'm
6 or
talking like
7.
25
Okay,
seeds.
let's do 25 seeds. I just want to keep it low ball, but sure, 25 seeds. You're getting every single one of those seeds out and then down the gullet and spitting out the shells.
I'm good, Nick.
What the fuck?
I don't
dude?
understand how it's possible.
I let Connor see me do it. Yeah, you just
No, I've seen you do it.
Yeah, let me walk you through this. You throw them in your mouth. You get a little bit of the seasoning. You enjoy that for a second, and then you throw them all to one side of your mouth. Put them all on one side
Like
of
a
your, on your
squirrel.
cheek. Yeah, like your squirrel.
Or
So
like,
you got
or like the jawbreaker in Ed,
Ed,
and Eddie.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about that in a minute.
We'll get there.
That's foreshadowing.
That's a good transition right there. But yeah, no, this is more important. I throw all the uncracked ones into one cheek. So yeah, I'm just straight cheeked up on one side.
Yeah.
Other one's empty. And then you use your tongue and you get one seed out. And then you use your teeth, you crack it. And then magically, dude, I've just gotten
But
good at
here's
it.
the thing: I crack and then it just shatters.
Shatter. See, you got to crack at like a specific angle.
See, that's the thing.
You
is
got to
I
get
don't
it
know
at
the
like
angle.
the 2 ends.
Yeah. Wait. So if the seed is this tall and like the skinny side and then the tall side of a sunflower seed, you're cracking it from the skinny side, right?
No, you're
like
cracking it from. So if these are my teeth, you're doing
Yeah.
tall side. So
Oh.
and then you're just cracking, and then usually the seed just comes out, or you
Interesting.
use your tongue to kind of get the seed out, and then you can either you eat the seed, or you can either throw the shell or like spit the shell into a bottle or a cup, or you use the other side. And you throw the empty shells over there, and then so it's like a little factory in your mouth. And you put all the empty sides there, and once you get all the empty ones, you then spit them out, dude.
The Call 64 podcast is educational.
I'm telling you, it's impressive. I know it's
Brady,
a skill
I
set.
know. This
But-
is like Brady. You have a lot of amazing traits. I don't, but this might be the most impressive thing you can possibly do.
And honestly, it was when you sit on the bench for many years playing baseball. You get good at 2 things. I can whistle really loud with my fingers, and I can eat sunflower seeds like a champ. Dude.
Oh, that's
All right.
awesome.
I can't hit a home run to save my life. I can't get a double or a single.
but nobody's beating you at this
yeah,
one thing.
but nobody can chew sunflower seeds.
But we
like
mentioned
me.
Ed, and Eddie, so we have to hop into Brady's topic. Brady, what is your topic?
My topic, I mean, man, I feel like we just ran with yours. Your topic was great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But my topic, we're going to go with childhood TV shows. And I say childhood loosely because I think Nick still watches Victorious religiously.
Not religiously.
I watched Nickelodeon / Cartoon Network until I was 16, I think.
I'm not,
I
yeah.
did not transition over to like people around my age were watching like South Park and Family Guy. I was definitely watching Wizards of Waverly Place. And what was the one with Zendaya? I was thinking about
Shake
this.
It Up.
Shake It Up. I was watching that was
Yeah.
like the last live action Disney show I feel like I did watch.
And then you just went straight into Breaking Bad.
No, the show that broke the mold for me was How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh, him,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch adult television.
It's
now.
funny
know
you
what
say
I mean?
that because I watched How I Met Your Mother while I was still in Ohio, but I was still watching childhood like Nickelodeon during that. So I just had like all this normal like kid TV, and then all of a sudden there was just like sexual themes and a lot of things with How I Met Your Mother, and then I was like, all right, back to Victorious and Wizards of Waverly Place.
Ew.
Yeah, girls.
So do you want to intro
Goonies.
this fully? Like, what do we want to talk about here?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we could do. However, at first when I thought of this idea, you kind of have that old argument that it's like Cartoon Network versus Nickelodeon, and then does Disney kind of have a say? But I mean, we can
it's
keep
gonna
it.
let's
end
start
up just
there.
being let's name role players
Yeah.
on like obscure NBA teams
Yeah,
from like the
but-
90s. It's gonna
Yeah.
be, you remember Codename Kids Next Door, dude?
Yes!
It's so good.
Yes! And see, that's exactly what this is going to end up being. We can argue which one's better. I think we all lean a little Nickelodeon. If I know you guys.
Cartoon Network. For
See,
sure.
I'm Cartoon Network too, but I'm just more of a cartoon guy.
But exactly, it's all about the cartoons.
Yeah, Nick just likes iCarly, which don't get me wrong, great show,
Dude,
fantastic.
I'm seeing iCarly clips on TikTok right now, and I'm like, this show is so funny. Did you watch the reel I sent over to you? It's just Gibby and Spencer moments,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so fucking funny.
I'm still
Gibby.
Gibby. Dude, it's iCarly was gas. I watched all of it, so I'm not
Drake
above
and
any
Josh,
of it.
Drake and
dude.
Josh was top tier. Drake
see-
and Josh was a show that when we would go to like a hotel, like on like a family trip, and we would just kind of be like vegging out at the end of the day. Like you throw on some television, and we put Drake and Josh on, and my mom would be like, "This is pretty good."
Yeah.
And my mom is like, does not like this kind of television
Yeah.
at all. She's like,
No.
"This is funny."
Yeah.
It's
gas.
decent sitcom TV and everything, and it's really funny because now whatever the fuck is on TV, I have no idea. But like before the generation, like right before your generation, there was like Boy Meets World, and there's these like actually like
Totally
good
missed that stuff.
TV shows.
The George Lopez show.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, if you didn't
my
wake up at 3
friend.
a.m. with that on the TV,
But like
Gas. Really good show.
Yeah, it was a great
Home
time.
Improvement, shit like that.
But
like,
but there's like
Sister,
actually
Sister.
decent TV shows,
Remember
and
Sister,
now
Sister? No.
the last good show
I'm not sure it's
I'll
a
stick
real
with
name.
this for the rest of my days is Victorious. I know that you bring it up as like a joking point. Victorious was something that I went in college and like it got on Netflix, and I was like, oh,
okay,
cool, like this is gonna be fun and everything. Like I'll go and have a little nostalgia hit. That show is a great show for two reasons. One, it's a funny show. It's got the Nickelodeon like staples of just like wacky shit happening. But the music in this show,
Victorious. we're
Victorious.
talking about? Sorry.
I
I was locked in with Sister.
I listened to somewhat religiously. I pulled the guitar out like 2 weeks ago when I played a Victorious song because I'm like, this music is actually kind of heat. Did you guys see recently the guy that had the puppet in the show? Do you know? Yeah, Matt Bennett. I believe that's his name. He went. His whole thing now is doing like nights where with like 21-year-old like plus groups of playing Nickelodeon TV shows and everything, and he like gets a venue and he hosts it. It's a great thing. He brought out Elizabeth Gillies to sing for the like a couple songs. That's been my entire TikTok timeline for the past 2 years.
Everybody just gets together and drinks and watch the shows.
No, they don't watch the shows. It's just the music. It's basically a DJ set to Nickelodeon stuff hosted by the guy with the puppet. It's
Does he bring the puppet?
he does not bring the puppet.
What's the point?
you can't be the guy with the puppet and then not have
I
the
know,
puppet.
but no, no joke. I'm like, that's a good amount of nostalgia. I wouldn't do that, but I respect that nostalgia hit, being like, yeah, sure, this could be a fun evening and everything. But I mean, if you're gonna bring out guests like that, come on, I'm super down.
Here's the thing about the Victorious iCarly, Drake and Josh situation. I've never been more invested in a live action show when I was a kid than I was with Zoe 101.
That's
I'm
what
talking
I
about.
was just. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I could.
Dude,
I literally remember the show. And I could not get
I
it.
needed to know what was going to happen with Chase and Zoe. They're going to get together finally.
Bring it back.
So-
remember the flip phone, like the sidekick
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
in the movie or whatever, and like he sends a text or something, and he's like,
And then
I
it-
can't let her see it or something.
And then it goes in the water at the very end.
Yeah.
It doesn't get set. Here's my thing, Connor. I get this job started last summer, and I don't know if you know this. I'm a big fan of Paramount Plus. That's a subscription that I use just for Survivor in the Challenge.
Nick is the only
I was
fan.
about to say you might be
Well,
solo.
no, I just need it for Survivor the Challenge. I don't care about television except for like prestige television, which is HBO, and like that's basically it. And then I watch Survivor in the Challenge and some shitty reality
Nick
TV.
watches the top tier HBO television and,
And then shit.
fucking garbage.
Yeah,
Connor,
and then Love Island.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
There's nothing wrong. When I say garbage, there's some.
I
good
love
fucking
junk
garbage
food
on
TV,
TV,
dude.
I literally told Connor, I was like, yeah, man, I finished up with the Penguin. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I literally went from True Detective season 1, arguably like the best season of television history, and then fucking Love Island season 6, and then to the Penguin like that. But that's sort of what I need,
yeah.
where it's like I want to calm down a little bit and watch some junk food and like make nachos and chill out for a few hours and not be stressed out the entire time, and then I'll watch the Penguin after. But going back to the original statement, I went with Paramount Plus. They have the Nickelodeon stuff on there too. Zoe 102 or whatever that fucking movie was, I watched that entire movie.
Was it
It was all right. It was
That's not what you want to
A
hear.
ringing endorsement. Yeah, it was all right.
It's all right out of 10.
I think I watched the whole thing technically
On
via
TikTok.
TikTok.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I go and it's like my third week of work or whatever, and there's no one's sending me any emails, and I literally just had a computer up, and then I had my laptop up, and with that on, I was like, that's pretty good. And we just moved on.
pretty good.
But for me, that like lineup that you just said, Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, that run of shows, and if you want to throw it out there, Ned's
That's
Declassified.
what I was waiting for it.
Let me break your brains right now. How have we not brought this up when it comes to Nickelodeon? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I mean, it's good.
Oh.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the
Yeah.
best animated show on any of those.
Yeah, it's the best
channels.
animated show ever, not named Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
I
fucking love Avatar. The
I
Last
last
Airbender.
night
Absolutely.
saw.
Shout out to Korra. People fucking don't put respect on
That's
Korra
insane.
nearly enough.
I watched Korra, I think, more times than I've seen Avatar. No, because the movies, the box set that I had, goddamn, that's a complete
Oh my
fallacy.
god, dude!
Yeah.
Road trips,
Yeah.
bring it back. We had the portable DVD player in the car. We were watching full ass seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender in the car
That's so
because I got
clutch.
Nick the DVD sets for Christmas. one year.
So I wanted season 3 because season 3 is the best season of Avatar, arguably the best season of television of all time. Then
One of
Connor
the best
gets
finales,
me.
period.
Yeah, Connor gets me season 2 for Christmas, but we did our Christmas like with the siblings and everything the night before, I believe. So I opened this up and I'm like, here's season 2. I hope I get season 3. Next morning, I get season 3, and then I got some birthday money. Bought season 1, baby. We got
That's
the
what's
full
up.
box set. It was sick as fuck. But go to that show. The whole lineup, though, of all these Nickelodeon shows, I don't care what you're going to bring up when you're talking about the Cartoon Network. It is not going to compete with that lineup.
it's the breadth of content. So you have Codename Kid Next Door, which
Great show.
was excellent. You have Total Drama Island. Are you a real Survivor fan if you didn't fucking love Total Drama Island?
Connor, I rewatched Total Drama Island all 4 seasons 2 years ago. Trust me, I am
It's
down.
Gas.
You're due. You're due.
It's
for
Oh, that's
another one.
run it back.
It's so
what are we doing
good.
after this?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That show is
Nightmare
awful.
Fuel.
That-
It's so good.
Awful.
Nightmare
it's
Fuel.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's Nightmare Fuel, but it's fantastic.
Exactly.
dude.
It's just Nightmare
It's
Fuel.
super creative and super
Oh, yeah.
weird. Like that was the thing with Nickelodeon. They were just making weird
Fucking
shit.
Flapjack.
Dude,
Flapjack?
Okay,
Chowder?
Chowder. I just watched Chowder like 2 years ago, the entirety of it, and it is,
What the fuck?
Dude, it was so good. I think it was 3 years ago because I lived with Mitchell. I would just sit there, not sober, and watch Chowder. Great. It was really COVID
Honestly,
era.
getting stoned and watching Chowder does sound like a decent time.
It was
I was
great.
a Flapjack truther over Chowder because
Yeah.
they were happening at the same time. And they would
Yeah.
go back to back, and I thought Flapjack was funnier. Flapjack was out of pocket.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
the weirdest show ever. Dude.
It was weird. Cartoon Network was weird. That was why.
Yes.
You got your normal Nickelodeon, and then you got your weird Cartoon Network. My favorite Cartoon Network show of all time, though, Foster's Home for Imaginary
Yes.
Friends. Dude, gas. So good.
Blue
I,
cheese.
am going to throw out a show that
Mac
is
and cheese.
the best show. If you're comparing best to best, the best show on Cartoon Network all time for me is Regular Show.
Yeah.
The Regular Show.
Oh, we didn't even get to the new age, the
Yeah,
regular show and
exactly.
Adventure Time.
Yeah,
Like,
Regular Show and
Adventure
Adventure
Time,
Time
yeah.
were both phenomenal. Regular Show to me, I watched all Regular Show at college with during college I had a roommate my freshman year, and then I lived with Jake and Shane for all 3 years. But we had Chase for 2 years, and then Ben, who just is like, it's senior year, I just need someone to live with. We're like, why not? This man loves Saturday morning cartoons. And when you're thinking
Classic.
I like cartoons. No, he loved on Saturday mornings watching cartoons. And so the dude just I'm watching all Regular Show. I'm like, all right, I'll sit down, have a meal, whatever, hang out. I end up watching all Regular Show with this man. And that show is actually so fucking good. In 15 minutes,
Yes.
every single plot is it's normal, and then something batshit insane happens, and then it's normal again.
What's the horse one or whatever?
With this horse, Benson, don't worry about it. This horse just needs to take a science exam, and if he aces it, the world will not explode. And then Benson goes, "What?" It's so good.
Dude, I forgot about. Okay, well,
Yeah.
first off, college is a crazy time. Imagine right now waking up as an adult and watching the entirety of a regular
Yeah.
show
that
on
was
a
a
Saturday.
year ago for
Different
me.
times.
That's different
And then
times.
when was Gumball on
Yeah,
Cartoon
that's
Network?
Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
But that's a little bit more new age.
That is the latest show that I
You weren't
watched,
rocking Steven Universe.
Yeah, exactly. Steven
Yeah.
Universe was I was done watching.
Same, I was out at that
animated
point.
shows but I've heard great things about that
Yeah.
show. And then what was on Disney when it
That's
came
So
to
Raven.
Wizards.
Wizards of Waverly
Hannah
Place.
Montana, if you want
Sweet
to throw
Life
that
of
in
Zach
there.
and Cody.
Hannah Montana was a ride.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love Hannah
Sweet
Montana.
Life.
Sweet Life
is the best.
Yeah.
Is Sweet Life the best? What else would
It would be Wizards over it.
Yeah.
And
also, you got to talk about DComs a little bit. Disney Channel original movies, Camp
Oh,
Rock,
yeah,
Lemonade
yeah.
Mouth. Come on.
I know, but
Lemonade
they,
Mouth, dude.
but have you seen Drake and Josh Go Hollywood, Connor? Let me raise you that.
Or no,
okay?
Drake and Josh Really Big Shrimp.
Oh, dude.
What a fucking title! You just had to watch it to figure out what they were
the fuck
talking
they
What
about.
does it mean? The numbers.
And then you have Disney XD as well.
I forgot
Zeke
about
and
that.
Luther, dude? Kicking it?
Johnny Test. Is
Johnny
Oh,
Test.
Johnny Test
Was
was
that
really
Cartoon
good.
Network?
No, that was Cartoon Network.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
Johnny
then-
Test was Cartoon
Oh,
Network.
was
I
it?
think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, yeah.
And then no, I think I'm right.
Really?
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
I gotta look it up. I'll look it up after. But then we want to talk about older Cartoon Network shows. Powderpuff Girls,
Yes.
Dexter's Laboratory. Great
Daxter.
show. Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory.
Daxter's Laboratory.
What's he cooking up?
Like stuff like that. That was like classic. That was good shit.
Yeah.
Watching that on Christmas Eve night or whatever in our grandparent, because we would always go up to Massachusetts and visit, and we just have to like watch something because like we were going to bed early so our parents could set up the tree and like get everything situated for the morning. I remember just watching Powderpuff Girls at like the
Late
late hours of the night, but I
yeah.
couldn't sleep. I was too excited or whatever, and it's gas. It's
Oh,
so good.
Samurai Jack, dude.
I
Can't
never
forget-
watched it.
Never
Oh,
watched
it's
it.
I watched that when I lived in McMicken. Or
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Oh,
That's
my
Disney,
God.
right?
Yeah,
That's
it's,
Disney.
so it is Cartoon Network is where it premiered.
Okay.
And then when the Disney buyout and everything happened,
Right.
it didn't go. I don't believe it ever appeared on Disney. The last season just was on Disney Plus and everything. I don't know if you guys watched the end of Clone Wars and everything. Those last 4 episodes are arguably the 4 best episodes of television ever. It is the amount of stake that you feel in the animation. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. The only thing that I can compare it to is fucking Arcane's animation at the best.
I still need to watch Arcane.
It's so good.
I was thinking of Gravity Falls.
Oh, Gravity Falls
that
is
was
crazy
Disney
too.
XD.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
Disney XD. Johnny Test is in fact Cartoon Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
But Gravity Falls is also fucking expertly done. I
Now,
remember
I've
being
only
a
watched
kid.
a few episodes, but like the fact that like it goes like on an arc and everything.
Yeah.
I think any cartoon show that like isn't like a one-off like Monster of the Week type episode, I think is really impressive because you have to hold a kid's attention for like storylines. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender, like having like a whole 3-season run where you have to watch just about every episode
watch
and
everything.
expect a kid to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. We had like appointment viewing,
Yeah.
like for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then we fell off of it eventually because it was just a break. And then when we came back to it, I was like, oh, this shit's so good.
I remember going, and one of my first memories ever is watching the King Boomy season 1 episode at our grandmother's place with our sister drinking root beer. I
At
remember
the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah,
remember that.
like
Yep.
that's
On
one
a
of the
small TV.
So, TV
Yeah.
that is maybe 12 inches big.
Yeah.
It is so small, and we were just like, but that TV was for 2 things. Well, it was for one thing, it was to watch the Red Sox. That was
Yep.
it. That was the
They
like
would just
it's-
have it on.
Yeah, you just
like,
have the
all
Red
time.
Sox on. You're cooking, whatever, good to go.
And by the way, they were like all solar powered. So like the
Yeah.
fact that they like dedicated a
Oh,
station
yeah.
to just having the Red Sox on all the time.
That
And
was
it was a big
so-
deal to like watch something at night because
Yeah.
they're like, we don't know if we got enough sun today or whatever, but I think we have enough to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
They're like,
It's
That's good
All
grandparents
right,
right there.
I want to break this down though. Best v best v best. What is your champion show, and what's the best on that? Is that better than X, Y, or Z? Because I'm going to break it down. The best show is Avatar, and then
I
go
think
regular
for Cartoon
show.
Network, but the issue is breadth for Cartoon Network. That's the
Okay.
problem. That's what we're talking about. We're talking
yeah.
about more, like because I'm not going to choose between Foster's, Codename, and Total Drama Island. Like I think those are all like essential.
I think
television
Total
shows.
Drama
And
Island
then-
might be the best
and then
show
you
on that
exactly, but
channel.
then you
So
go back
good.
to like the classics that are more Monster of the Week, but just like really great creative shows like Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls. Like that's good shit as well. Then you have Samurai Jack. Like you go all over the place with this. That like it's just. There's a ton of great shit. On
There's a ton
Cartoon
of great
Network.
shit, but you don't have the bangers. Connor, Victorious. Come on,
It's
dude.
just everything on Nickelodeon. It's just you got Avatar, and then everything else is just the same formula. They
Yeah,
figured one
exactly.
formula out, and they're like, let's run with it. And then
It's the one
Disney's
disgraced
kind
guy.
of like that too. Yeah,
It's the one disgraced guy.
Dan
that-
Schneider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Dan Schneider.
Ugh.
But
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ, he I guess just like made really solid television shows for
Yeah.
a very long time. But like,
Definitely taint some of that history
yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dude, but you're forgetting about the Amanda show, okay? Bring in the dancing
fucking the
lobsters.
Amanda
Bring in
show,
the dancing
dude.
lobsters.
Oh
Just
my
so
gosh,
good.
I forgot.
That's classic. That's old right there. Or what is the burger one?
Good Burger?
Good
Oh,
Burger.
Good Burger's
Good
great.
Burger's so good too.
That's
a little
Keenan
bit before our
Thompson,
time.
right?
Yeah,
That's
Keenan Thompson.
dude.
Keenan
The fact
Kel.
that he is just still destroying on SNL, and he is still one of the funniest cast members. Like whenever I
wonder
catch
if
an
he'll ever
SNL
leave.
episode, it's
I
one
was
of those
just thinking about that.
I
contrasts.
wouldn't
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
if I was there.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely
just crush
no.
it on there.
Yeah,
well,
but, like-
people leave all the time or whatever, and they just like turn.
They
over,
want to
but
do
right.
something else. Is the whole
Yeah.
thing. They want to use it as
But
a
this is
launchpad.
his calling.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
really good on SNL.
He's really good at sketch comedy,
Yeah.
and he's like, this is the biggest stage of sketch comedy, so
Right.
it makes sense. I'm just throwing it out there though. I'm on Team Nickelodeon. You are both on Team Cartoon Network.
It's hard. It's obviously Disney Channel. That's just
That's there.
We'll shout them out. Obviously, they're not in the running. It's like a rip-off Nickelodeon
Yeah.
kind of thing.
At times, yeah.
At times. They got the movies.
DComs is the only thing that
exactly.
really kind of
They got the movies.
Minutemen. Are you kidding?
Ooh.
Johnny Tsunami.
Isn't Cousin Greg in Minutemen? Do you
I
know?
have
Do
no
you know
idea
who
who
Cousin
you're talking
Greg
about.
is?
No.
He's one of the people in Succession, but he's like the super like off kilter tall
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
I think he's in Minutemen.
I was gonna say Sky High, but Sky High is not a decom. We
It's
went
not a
over this.
decom.
But it
You owe me
played-
money
it
for that, by
played
the
a
way.
lot- It played a lot on
ABC
on-
Family.
No, it played a lot on Disney Channel.
Dude,
Like,
Sky
after that,
High
yeah.
is so good.
Sky High's great.
Let me remember.
He's in that as well.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
remind you of this fever dream. Do you remember Fred?
Yeah.
oh my
well,
God.
I remember the YouTube, but then he
Yeah,
did get a TV
he-
show, and I remember trying to watch it, and I think I was over for it at that
Dude,
point.
Oh yeah,
So-
you're like, this is painful.
Something I
Him
didn't
being
do.
in iCarly was crazy.
Well, I was about to say
Yeah.
he's in iCarly. And he has Fred the movie that's on Nickelodeon, and they made 2 of them, I believe.
we didn't even talk about Fairly Odd Parents or Jimmy Neutron.
I know.
Oh, God.
And
Dude,
those-
like you said at the
Those are
beginning of
both
this, we could do
Team
this forever.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Both Team Nickelodeon. I do want to shout this out though, and this is totally going to date this podcast. I've totally made a mistake during the predictions episode for Game Awards. One of the things I want to throw out there is I think John Cena somehow shows up. And it's his last year before WrestleMania and everything, before he retires. That's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. We will see John Cena, aka we will not see John Cena on the Game Awards stage. Anyway, sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
Well,
I hope
you
we
just
see
were
John
throwing out
Cena. Yeah,
Fred?
yeah.
I'm
yeah,
going Cartoon Network, but yeah, of course.
I wanted to throw Fred out, but at the end of the day, it's comparing apples and oranges. But I do have to go Cartoon Network because, like Connor said, you got the different shows.
Yeah, the
so
breath.
many.
Yes.
There's so many. Dude, I can talk about this for hours, but are we hopping into
Yeah.
topic 3?
Hit me, Nick. What do we got?
For my topic, I want to talk about something that is probably a top 5 favorite thing I have in my entire life. And that is trailers. I'm obviously a fan of video game showcases. The reason that I initially wrote this one down in my notes app for a potential topic was not a video game trailer, though. It was the Mission Impossible 8 trailer where Tom Cruise just runs so much, baby. He's running.
He must. They must know what they're doing at that point. That like it's a meme that like he just be running.
no,
in every
no,
single
but,
one of
like-
these, and he looks like he's putting his entire body.
Yeah,
into it.
that's the thing with it. Where I straight up, I firmly believe this. I love watching Tom Cruise run, and I don't know why.
He's born to
like,
run, dude.
I watch people sprint in the Olympics. And I'm like, that's cool. I see Tom Cruise run, and I'm like, go Tom, go! Run, Tommy, run! Like, and it also dials back to the Fallout scene, the Fallout scene where he's running on the building and then he breaks his fucking leg and then keeps running and everything. Tom Cruise and running is just the same. We can talk about all that and more. That's
When
a
does that
Mission
movie come
Impossible
out?
topic. Next year, at some point.
I know that.
Like
There-
summer.
there you
I
go.
think summer.
July.
Through summer. I would
Next
assume
year.
summer. But yeah,
Can't wait.
I want
I
to talk
love
about
Mission
trailers,
Impossible.
our favorite trailers, movie trailers, game trailers. Gaming showcases will be brought up, but I want to keep it focused to the trailers and the moments in the trailers that you attach to. Like, Connor, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, there's so much on
Legendary.
the table here.
We talk about video games a lot, so I want to talk about movies first.
Yeah.
Just like, I think that the world might have been at its apex when it came to unity when Star Wars: The Force Awakens
Oh
got
my
its
God.
first trailer, and we were all so hopeful.
Chewie, we're home.
And so happy. I remember sitting dad was laying on the couch or whatever, and I sat down next to him with my phone. I was like, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and and like I teared up, and I think he teared up, and we were like, yes.
We're back.
Like and it was so hopeful and it looked so good. And I think Force Awakens is a rock solid movie. I think it was set to set all of this on the right path, and then obviously where we are now, it didn't end up working out. But like that trailer was so fucking good, and oh man, like it's so sad to think about now. But like, it was such a moment. Like, it was so exciting.
Speaking of moments, and before I get Brady in on this conversation, fucking Infinity Wars trailer. Not Endgame's trailer, but Infinity Wars trailer.
I like Endgame's trailer better.
I know. We'll get there in a moment, Connor. Infinity Wars trailer drops, and I remember being at high school. It was almost like it was like a snow day. School got canceled for a moment. For like 90 minutes, if you were trying to teach a class, good fucking luck. We are only talking about one thing, and that is this goddamn trailer. And then Endgame's trailer comes out, and it is the Tony Stark voiceover, and it's the bone-chilling, just like flashes of movies past and everything. And
they only show the first 20 minutes of that movie in that trailer. They don't show anything else. Where they do, but like it's like very like cut like and paste, like where you can't really tell that it's from anything else. It's like, what a trailer.
Brady, are you a trailer boy?
See, that's where I'm like drawing a blank. I'm so bad with trailers, and I don't want to get into video games right now because that's where my bread and butter probably is, just because of what we're doing now, and that forces me to focus more on trailers.
How do you feel about trailers, just generally speaking? About spoilers, about like getting you excited or all that? Because I have takes on this for sure.
Yeah, I'm honest, to be completely honest, I'm kind of one of those guys that I zone out of trailers. It's like playing a game before it comes out or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait for it. I just want to see the whole thing. So I generally don't like focus too much on trailers, or even when I'm like at the theaters, which I've been going to a lot more lately for some reason. But
How was Wicked?
Wicked, great movie.
Dude, I need to go see it.
Haven't seen
I
Gladiator
legitimately want
2.
to see it.
I want to see it too.
Yeah.
Connor, you and I, best friends.
What are you guys doing after this? It's actually really good. Ariana Grande does a fantastic job of playing that role. Everybody,
Victorious. It all ties together.
Which I didn't know. Is Ariana Grande married to a guy in the? We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
At our Wicked. We'll get into that in the Wicked podcast.
Cast.
The Wicked cast we have. But yeah, I don't pay a lot of attention to trailers as much as I have in the past year when it comes to video games and stuff. So all I can think about is the SpongeBob SquarePants movie trailer.
Really? What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
When it comes to movie trailers for me and going to the movies, I had before the channel started and I lost all my time and ability to do anything outside of my outside of this and outside of hanging out with Laura. I was going to the movies a ton. I had AMC A-list. That shit was awesome. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I was going to see multiple movies like all the time. You skip the trailers. I would hide in the bathroom and just be like, I'm just gonna go sit in the bathroom or whatever, like, and kind of just scroll on my phone until the trailer's done. It's spoilers. It is. Like,
I agree.
I'm okay with the reveal trailer. I like getting shit revealed and like get the hype excited. And if I need to be sold on it, maybe I'll want a little bit more. But like Last of Us Part 3, I'll see that first trailer. I'll be like, yes, I am so excited. I don't want to see fucking anything else.
And then I'm going to make him go and sit down.
All it can do is make that product worse for you. That's all it can do. And I hate that.
My favorite thing is Connor during showcases where they're like, a game pops up and he's like, I don't want to see this.
Yeah. Like Spider-Man 1, they spoiled the entire game. Which they showed the entire fucking game. They showed it like 18 different times. And it's like, I feel like I know everything.
FF7 remake or Rebirth even, like, got to the point that I'm like,
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
They have a trailer called the Final Battle trailer where they show the final battle.
That's insane.
And they show all the emotional moments. It is crazy. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I understand that you want to generate hype, but I'll never do that again. Kingdom Hearts, it's been long enough at this point that I think that Kingdom Hearts 4 is a different game than what we saw initially at that initial reveal. So it's a re-reveal technically. So I'll be excited to see a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer at this point. But after that, I might just be like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Speaking of spoilers, I wish I could remember the name of the movie, but it was like a meme. There was that one war movie where the guy's just running in the trailer.
1917.
Yeah, and then it's just that's the movie. It's just him running.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. I went with my dad like a long time ago.
I love that movie.
I watched all the Oscar noms that year and everything, and I was just like, that movie I saw in theaters, and I was like,
what a ride.
Holy shit. That movie and Uncut Gems for me.
Never seen Uncut Gems.
Oh,
dude,
it's good. If you want to go and just stress, like, and sweat, you're just going to sit and sweat for 2 hours as Adam Sandler makes horrible decisions.
Sounds like my kind of movie.
It's great. But, like, for me, I like hype. I enjoy a discussion.
But it's a short form. It's like it's a quick hit that has ramifications down the line. I like it in the moment.
It's not worth it. It's nice in the moment.
Here's my question to you, though. My prime example for this is Knights of the Old Republic. Are we going to get that game? Probably not. The remake of it?
Well, that's a very specific situation.
But do we get to be really excited about it? There's games that are way better in the trailer moment than it is the actual game or movie.
Dead Island. too.
Oh,
Okay.
I would
I'm
say,
the bomb and about to
yeah.
blow up. That initial trailer or whatever is so good.
I would throw out that there's a lot of movie trailers, especially comedy movies, that the trailer you're like, all right,
Ted.
I got through all that, and now we're good.
Ted
But
was that for me
Really?
back in
Yeah.
high school. Everyone was just passing around the trailer and be like, "This is fucking hilarious." Then the movie's fine.
Yeah,
all right.
But everyone's like, "This, all the best jokes for the trailer."
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just how it goes
Fuck
with
you,
movies.
thunder. Like, it's good shit.
It's so funny. That's the thing though, where I'm okay with having the initial hype in case I don't end up playing the game. There's a lot of trailers that I've gotten excited to and have not played the game over time. Being like, oh, Days Gone, that looks really cool. Never played Days Gone.
That's like me on half of the shows we watch, where you're like, "Are you gonna play that?" I'm like, "No, but it looks cool."
Yeah, but like there's fun to be had there. And now that it is part of our content slate and everything of reacting to trailers and enjoying that, and like I loved all year reacting to everything. I
Yeah, it's a
loved
blast.
like Gamescom doing a solo dolo moment there. Fucking doing the Xbox showcase this year. Like having that moment, we're in LA, we're having a great time, but it just being banger trailer after banger trailer after banger trailer. And then I almost felt bad by the end of it because I must have hit Connor in the arm so many times after Metal Gear popped up. And then for the rest of the showcase, it was like, all right, perfect. Like I'm just losing it. Yeah. Like it's all just hype and energy. I love trailers. So I'm always okay with it.
One that I want to point out, one day that I want to point out, we got the first trailer for Logan and Red Dead Redemption 2 in the same day.
That's crazy.
I was going back and forth, just hyping myself up, being like, the Logan trailer is maybe the best trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Hurt
So good.
myself today.
Today.
And it's like, oh, they're doing The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And Wolverine. It's like, this is fucking
And
awesome.
it's
awesome.
awesome.
It's the best. I think it's one of the best.
I haven't
superhero
watched
movies ever.
Logan again in years.
It's great.
I need to go and sit back down and
You gotta
watch
get
it.
Dad to watch that. Dad doesn't really love superhero movies, like generally speaking, but like he watched all of the MCU with you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you got to show him.
I have a relationship with our father where I get a couple things over on him because I sat down and watched all The Chosen. So I get a couple things. My father, he's 4 seasons into Cobra Kai. Like
Really?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well,
Come on,
think-
Connor.
think
Come on,
about it-
Connor.
Think about it this way. Johnny Lawrence and like the whole Johnny Lawrence character of like being an 80s character basically dropped into the modern world. That's our father.
I was about to
Like,
say, I was literally about to say, is your dad Johnny Lawrence?
yeah, like it's Johnny Lawrence minus the course banquets. Like
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
Like and so
Course Banquets.
dude. Oh,
And when I started watching that show, I think I started picking up Course Banquets more
Oh.
often than I was.
You're like, I'm a black belt.
Ki. Okay, but like no, I would be super down. Our father though, like you said with the Force Awakens trailer, it's so funny how. It's a banger trailer when you can get somebody like him excited about something like that.
Yeah.
And Logan, prime example. I want to dial back though to the Switch reveal trailer.
I think that was the same day, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the trifecta. It would have been like
I remember
but it was
seeing that.
close at the very least.
And there was a teacher that taught like AV, and I'm in an AV class, and he's like, well, shit, this just came out. He had a really deep, gruff voice. He's like, oh, shit, this just came out. Throws it up on the big projector, and we all watched the Switch trailer. And like, we're just like,
I remember the song.
Switch it
I
up,
remember
baby.
having- They're playing Mario Odyssey on the roof, like a party
And
or
there's,
whatever.
we got
That's- I mean-
basketball, 2K.
Yeah.
There's basketball in the background. They're
They're
going
playing Mario
at it.
Kart in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
They like put it on like the center, like the middle, like armrest, and they're just like,
Dude, back when
Inception.
going to and driving to hockey,
that's funny.
driving to hockey, Nathan would drive, and then I'd be in the front seat, and then there'd be 2 kids in the back that are like freshmen, we're juniors at the time, or seniors. There's 2 people that we have to drive, and they're just playing Switch, like playing Super Smash Bros. The amount of times that I would go to hockey practice, literally just to go, and after hockey, you throw the bags in the back, so you got the trunk open, throw the bags in the back, throw your sticks in there, and then you put the Switch up, like, so it's the tiniest screen on the little kick flip, you pull out 4 Joy-Cons, and then we would play Smash for like cool 30 minutes, and then be like, all right, now let's roll out to Taco Bell, now let's get the day going. The Switch trailer, though, was, for me, a moment in time. I hope we get another one. By now, we might have. I don't fucking know. But like, that's one of those like reveal trailers in general are so exciting. Like, just it's
Ghost of
a
Yote.
present. It's a Ghost of Yote.
I was waiting for somebody to say it. Ghost of Yote. That's where I've done a bunch of these showcases with you. I've gotten hyped for a lot of trailers, and nothing. That was the first one that like hit for me. Like I was like I had chills. Like I called my wife when we got in the car, and
Yeah.
I was like, you'll never believe what just happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I don't give a shit. I'm like, I have to tell everybody right now. But like,
Because what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
that-
feeling, you can't go do something with it. Is the problem?
exactly. Yeah.
Like,
You're like, I can't wait for, I guess it's next year now, but,
Yeah,
but
dude.
still and to get that 2025 date was amazing. Like that was like, I've always had great showcases, had fun showcases, seen good trailers and everything. But that was the one that was like, this is the moment I've been waiting
Yeah.
for.
Well, now we're waiting for The Last of Us.
or
Imagine
Naughty
doing that together or
Yeah,
whatever. Like
exactly,
to see
like,
The Last of Us
oh,
Part
dude.
3 together.
Yeah.
Like for the first time is going to be a legendary.
Well,
experience.
that's what that's what I ended up wanting this topic to be. I'm happy that we closed with it because, like, when we talk about this whole job and it being work at time, there is nothing better than discussing the rise of Brady when it comes to you were reacting with me to shit in 2022, and I would just have to ask you to call in a favor, basically being like, you're like, what's the Starfield game we're talking about here? Like, because I would have you on an Xbox showcase and you're like, all right, I guess I'll
Yeah.
fucking do it. And then now for you to have played the games that you have and to understand the industry in the way that you do and be like, oh yeah, like Ghost of Yotei came out this time, game development. I'm like, Brady knows game development enough to get excited for the potential of something. And then when it delivers, it's fucking euphoric.
It feels, I literally had chills. I remember like the next day or even like right after that talking to Connor and be like, I get it now. Like
Yeah.
this was my showcase. Like that was my favorite thing we've ever done. Like
Yeah.
I was like, that was so exciting and I've never felt like that for a video game before.
We can discuss this now in the announcement like trailer. I don't know if you've seen the announcement video like when in its current state and everything, but there's a clip of Sucker Punch popping up and all of us like and just losing it because it's the understanding. I would be remiss to not go back though to the 2022 Game Awards, you, me, and Shane going and just reacting to everything. Going and it starting out with Hades 2. And literally, Jeff does the tee up. He's like, hey, this is a game that a studio that's won many Game Awards. It's an indie team. And I just go, Supergiant. And then all of a sudden, Supergiant pops up and Connor and I lose our shit. And Shane's super excited. And then Jeff comes back out and we're like trying to calm the fuck down. We're trying to take our breath. And then just like, trust me, we're just getting started.
And he's like one of the most legendary minds in gaming, and I say Ken Levine.
Yeah. And Connor calls him shot.
And then it's Ghost Story, the Judas or whatever.
Yeah.
and us,
Yeah.
like I had a lot. I already 2 reveals in had probably too much champagne in me, but I was like, I'm gonna start crying. Like I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Like we're talking about BioShock's creator. There are so few people in the industry that have that weight to them. Where I'm just like, holy shit, we're getting this from them. Ken Levine's one of those names that like it's gonna be one of the greatest atmospheres in all of gaming, and the fact that we're going to space. God damn.
And we had Death Stranding 2, and then we had Armored Core 6.
Yeah, Armored Core 6, and I brought up the whole idea of like seeing Sucker Punch when From Software popped up, and like there was like a good 30 seconds of that trailer of them like teasing and prodding that it was Armored Core. All of a sudden, it pops up From Software, and I'm just like, we talked about this on the predictions episode a couple days ago. From Software, Naughty Dog, Rockstar. If one of those 3 logos pop up, you know, guaranteed money in the fucking bank that this is going to be one of the best games you're going to play this year. Guaranteed. And it sure as fuck. Armored Core 6.
Armored Core
Pretty
6
great game.
rules, yeah.
The game rules.
I gotta go back to it though. Like I want to like really like get into that game. Playing it on stream and like kind of trying to be entertaining. Like I was definitely like there's moments where it was like I'm dying so many times. Somebody give me the cheese strat. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? And like and I definitely cheese some of those final sections. But yeah, any more?
I'm trying to think. I do need a shout out. There's 2 trailers that we bring up all the time. This channel doesn't exist without the game trailers reaction to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah,
Duh.
legendary.
It pops up remake and it's just the most bone-chilling moment. And then fucking Huber, Easy Allies, Kratos with an axe.
Oh,
God
yeah.
of War gets revealed, and all of a sudden you're going into gameplay. You got Cory Barlog playing on fucking stage, and it's Kratos with a fucking axe.
We'll have a topic at some point about E3 and
Yeah.
stage presentations and the death of like the pop and circumstance of like what
Being on stage.
being on stage and like having like everything go right and like sometimes things going wrong, like Nathan Drake falling through the ground during an E3 demo or
Oh my
whatever it was.
gosh.
It's like, but like that shit was so electric. It felt so human. It felt like with a crowd clapping and everything, like you were like a part of something great. And now that we just everything is just state of plays and Nintendo Directs and it's just a trailer like on the screen, it just feels so much more disconnected. That now with Game Awards, it's like the only thing we have close to that at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm
So
so
it's
excited.
exciting. It's just going to be super fun. I mean, by the time you guys watch this, it's going to be well over.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
But yeah,
And, like when we post this, everything's revealed. Like that's the other
Right.
thing. Like
we're going to sound so dumb. They're going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima 3.
At this point, the announcement video is gonna be shown. People will know what we're doing. Like my plan for that day, I don't know if I've discussed this. This is just a fun little behind the scenes. Is the announcement trailer is going, and I have YouTube up on my laptop, and I go publish to all the stuff that's going up here today and everything, and then I go over to Patreon and I go publish. Well, actually, I'll probably just publish the page. I don't know. That's something that I gotta worry about later. But yeah.
Semantics. All right. That was your first episode of the Co-op 64 podcast. If you liked that, be sure to go over to patreon.com/coop64, COOP64, where you can support the channel at the $5, $10, or $25 tier. At the $10 tier, you get this show once a month, along with Recollecting Retro once a month, and 4 additional TikTok style trivia videos. So you're getting new content every single week at the $10 tier, on top of getting early access to the casual gaming conversation, the casual gaming news conversation, and your bonus episode of the casual gaming conversation every week. So lots of great stuff over there if you want to support the channel in that way. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this. This was a blast. Peace out, guys.